We move in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now is when we close on our house and start settling and moving. And 2 weeks sounds like such a short amount of time. But also 2 weeks feels like such a long amount of time whenever I have been anticipating this for like 8 months. So I'm in a weird spot right now. Packing is happening. Things are coming along. I think next week is going to be the week that I really start to dive into packing in earnest. Pretty much everything in our house that is not used nearly daily has been packed at this point, but there's still plenty to do. So I think next week you're going to see a lot more from me. But we took care of some really important things this week that I had been putting off. And I'm really ready for the final stretch. I'm ready. So let's dive into all of the packing progress that happened this week, my friends. One of my missions this week is to start working on taking things off walls. I'm in my oldest son's room. He's got his big bulletin board that's been cleared off, but it's still on the wall. He's got some art over here. And then we have all the stars on the ceiling. We're actually reaching out to the new owners to see if they are interested in the stars on the ceiling. We're not sure if they have kids, but if they do, maybe they want to keep them. So that is what I'm going to work on today. I got to pull things off the walls. I got to patch holes, and then I got to touch up paint. So it's not a fun job, but it needs to get done. And I think I'll feel a little bit better when it's taken care of. This might not seem like a moving task, but the next thing I need to do is deal with some plants. So we've got like this tall rubber tree over here that desperately needs to be staked better. And I'm worried that if he's not gonna survive a move. And then I have a lot of just like deferred plant maintenance. Like I've got this guy who has outgrown his little planter, and a few, like these guys desperately need a big haircut before the move. And I kept putting it off thinking like, I don't want to do all of these things and then move the plants to a new home. But also we still have 3 weeks, and that is a long time to continue to put off things that really need to be done for my plants. So today, all the plants are getting ready for the move. Anything that needs to be moved into a new planter is getting moved to a new planter. If you need a haircut, you're getting a haircut. We're gonna go ahead and do all the things now so they have 3 weeks to recover before we move them to a new home. I have a few pothos varieties like this guy, and this one actually, I don't know that I've ever given a big chop to, but the ones that I have over here, once a year, usually kind of around Christmas time in the winter, I usually give them a big chop. I just find that they start to, when they get really long, if they haven't had a long chop in a while, they start to have a lot of leaves dying. And so because we're moving, I'm gonna go ahead and give everyone a nice big chop, because this is not easy to move, but like this is easy to move. And then it'll also make it a little bit easier for me to find space for them in the new house. So I'm gonna have lots of little babies to share with friends. I will propagate a lot of this, but let's go ahead and give it. That's always a little sad. I kind of suspected that might be the case. he needs a new planter. Let's go ahead and take care of it.
So he definitely looks a lot sadder, but he really needed it. I had let him get way too long without trimming. There was almost no soil left in the planter. It was just so root bound. So he's gonna recover great. It'll just take him a little bit of time. Here is how things look after I gave them a trim and kind of straighten things up a bit. So again, this is gonna stay looking like this and like as cute as I can keep it, probably until the week we move, because we live here and this is like the space that we spend our most time in, and I need it to still feel like home until the very last second. So all of this will stay like this for at least another week, week and a half. So I spent 5 minutes to make it look kind of cute again. And these plants are gonna be so happy. I'll be sure to give you an update.
So 3 weeks to go until the official move. I mean, by the time we end this week, it'll only be 2 weeks, but right now we're working on like, this is this week, this is next week, and then this is my final week. So it's a short list, but it's not small stuff. So we have tackled Jackson's ceiling and walls. So today I think we're gonna see what we can get done here. The garage is kind of just ongoing. It really just needs a little bit of cleanup so that we can get back to a place where we can even like walk in there. I think that right now I'm gonna go ahead and work on the garage, and then maybe we'll see what we can get done in the backyard today too.
So step one is gonna be tackling this area. You have seen me work over here before, but it's still chaos. We've still got a lot of paint down here. There's a bunch of stuff up in these cabinets. So we're gonna try to get this little section completely packed. All right, it's all done, this whole section. So the only cabinet or drawer that has anything left is this one right here, which is where I've got all of the touch-up paint for the whole house. It's all labeled, so when they get here, if they need anything, they'll be able to find it. This box is just some cleaners that I'm trying to give away on our Buy Nothing page. This is just gonna go in a vehicle when we move, and then this is stuff we're still using. So this side is also cleared out all the cabinets, and then stuff up here is just like stuff we might need. So all that really needs to be left done in the garage is this section. A lot of this is donate, stuff we need to go through, and then just stuff to box up. So, and then this is all of our extra boxes. So really just this one section, and then I can fully call the garage done. Today, we're tackling the bonus room. So this room is currently a mess, and I can't fully pack it because there are toys in here that my kids still use, and this is really where all of their toys are kept. So some of the drawers I'm not gonna mess with. Some of them I can though. All of the Legos are getting transported separately, but there is still plenty to do in here. We've got a lot of chaos happening, as you can see. So, and I've got one big old box. Honestly, my plan today is just to fill that box with whatever chaos I can get from in here. I'm gonna empty out what I can from the drawers, empty off what I can from the shelves that isn't Lego, and go from there. Okay, let's see if we can get this downstairs. And I'm gonna get another box. All right. Go downstairs. Let's pack a couple more boxes. So overwhelmed. All right, this room is still complete and utter chaos, but this is a room my kids use every single day. So I have gotten it to a point where like what I can pack has been packed. And other than that, it's pretty much just waited out until maybe like the last week that we live here. So I can check it off the list as done for this phase of packing. I feel good about where we're at, but I am very realistic about the fact that we have a long way to go. So next week, we're really gonna start taking things very seriously. And hopefully, I think by the end of next week, my house is not gonna look quite so cute and put together anymore. So I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. I'll see you then.